And we are live.
Yes. The piano player's out. The music stopped. Discord had beef and it got dropped. To paraphrase the Beastie Boys on one of the greatest tracks ever, Paul Revere. Transition from the music into rap quotes. Oh, fuck. I'm not unmuted on Discord.
Me either.
Boom.
I am.
Well,
We are live
sucks.
on Discord.
I just dropped some Beastie Boy rap quotes to transition from the music, and y'all missed it because I was muted.
It was a YouTube exclusive.
YouTube exclusive. When in doubt, quote the Beastie Boys. All righty. I got to go onto the YouTube. Just closed my trading platform. Apparently put on an Amazon trade right before we went live.
Just putting out all the links. We'll be with you guys momentarily.
The links are out. The YouTube's up. And here we go. Cool. Well, yeah. So we were chatting about trading for a second there, and Bitcoin
Is live. There's a link.
Oh yeah, the Threadcast, baby.
Yeah. We usually get over 100 replies in there, so keep it up. Keep it up. I also, public service announcement, I upvote every single reply that's made in that Threadcast. So if you want some upvotes, head in there. I hear that Leo is more valuable than last week.
Well, I like that there's already comments and questions in the Threadcast.
All right. Sweet. I'm just reading through the brief that Eric sent us. We should probably read these briefs before we go live, but
well, he added a whole bunch of shit.
Typically in the Sooniverse, everything is live beta.
Oh, and apparently I'm getting asked questions in there too. Let me think, Eric. What can I have some fun with? Decisions. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff he put in there to chat about. I just want to talk about trading Bitcoin.
Let me just start with some Leoverse updates then.
Heck yeah.
I've got some development stuff, and then I've got some stuff that Eric sent me. Obviously, yesterday was May 15th, which means that it was the May 15th LPUD. So Leo Power Update, in case you didn't know. Every 15th of the month, we do a coordinated power update. There's a ton of prizes that are given out. And most of those prizes actually come from community. So, different members in the community, especially large stakeholders, have kind of, grouped together to give away all sorts of prizes. The biggest one being, Leo Power delegations. So, there's tons of ways that you can win. I mean, I don't even know how many winners there are every month, probably over 20 or 30. So, you're pretty much guaranteed to win if you do it a few months in a row. I would be very surprised if you didn't win at least once within 2 or 3 months of participating in LPUD. So it's cool that there's like different levels of prizes and different ways that you can win and all sorts of stuff like that. So in the LPUD, I'm reading Eric's notes. We had 525,000 Leo powered up, which is crazy. The last record that we just beat was in August 2022. And we had 333,000 Leo powered up in August of 2022. So almost double the previous record, which is wild. The thing that I find kind of crazy related to that is that we had that record power up this month, despite the price being up like 50% already. So in case you guys missed it, the Leo price is sitting around like 5 cents right now. So we just kind of had like some wicked green candles. And things are starting to look up for Leo. Let me drop this screenshot for you. So that's the screenshot for the B Leo price, which I think tracks the market pretty much the most accurately out of all of them. Obviously Wrap Leo is the deepest pool, but B Leo is one of the more efficient marketplaces just because it's easier to trade in and out of. But yeah, we've seen the Leo price like really, you know, kind of hit like this quick rise. And I think a lot of it stems from the daily buys that have to happen with the tokenomic changes. So, you know, I've talked about that in a few different posts, and then there's been a lot of content on it from, you know, Leo Growth and LeoFinance talking about the tokenomics updates, which are essentially, you know, the biggest one, and this tweet kind of went viral within the Hive community. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. The tweet was about the new tokenomic changes, and here's the link. The main headline is that the inflation rate of Leo dropped from 25,000 Leo roughly per day down to 5,000 Leo per day. So that's a pretty radical drop. But I think what really, and we all know this, that, you know, and Taskmaster has written probably 1,000 posts about it, but you know, dropping inflation rate or like burning tokens just from nothing is not going to make the price go up, right? But what does make the price go up is a decreasing supply and an increase in demand, right? Like just the most basic laws of economics. And now we see that the inflation has dropped, so there's less oncoming supply, and the demand, the built-in demand, not even counting the demand from, you know, community members and other people that try to get their hands on Leo to gain more utility through Leo Power, but the actual like built-in utility and demand from the Leo.bounties account has really kind of taken full force. So in case you didn't know, per month for their Leo.voter has about 3.3 million, I think, Hive Power delegated to it. And it pays out a roughly 16% APY to anybody who delegates Hive Power to Leo.voter on Hive. And that those delegation payouts are in Leo, and they happen every single day. And the rough amount of money that costs every month is $10,000. So which and the curation rewards that Leo.voter earns is like somewhere around $8,000. So there's like a $2,000 gap, which I'll talk about in a second. But that means that $10,000 worth of Leo essentially needs to get bought every single month to distribute to delegators from the Leo.bounties account. So previously that came from the bounties and the team inflation, which we just kind of merged them all into bounties. There's no like team inflation. It's just all bounties at this point. But that came to an end, right? So that bounties pool finally came to an end. And it at the peak of it became like 20,000 Leo a day that it was minting to pay to delegators. And obviously it didn't start out that way. You know, it was in like the low hundreds. And then when the price of Leo kind of spiraled downwards and the price of Hive started going up, the amount of Leo each day kind of started getting out of control. But we decided to just let bounties run its course because it had to get, you know, the bounties pool had to get minted one way or another. So we decided to just let it run its course. And then we would have a flippening where the bounties would get flipped off and the delegations would get paid from actually like purchased Leo instead of inflated Leo. So that started on May 1st, right when the UI went live. And some tweets were put out that basically said, you know, it's going to take, you know, it'll be seen over time. Even this tweet says new Leo tokenomics are live as of last week. The effects of this big of a shift in the economy will be seen over time. So something like this definitely takes time to sink in. I don't even think we've seen, the majority of the impacts of it. It's going to have all sorts of different impacts. And if you look at kind of where Leo tokens are flowing, which I don't think anybody has done real, stats on, but if you were to look at like who's holding Leo, where is Leo held in terms of like liquidity pools and on Leo DEX and all sorts of places, I would imagine that there's a lot of shifts happening right now where Leo is kind of shifting from different places and then going to new users and all sorts of other places. So a lot of that is because now the bounties pool has to essentially buy Leo from all sorts of the liquidity pools in order to get the Leo each day. So yeah, if you watch it, it's buying from, the Wrap Leo pool, it's buying from the B Leo pool, it's buying from the P Leo pool, and it's buying directly on Hive Engine, and then the Hive Engine pool. So there's essentially 5 places where Leo is listed and it's buying from all 5. So it's kind of like a black hole, and it's like sucking in as much Leo as it can from all these different pools, trying to get the best price, obviously. And then each day it distributes. I think prior to this change, the amount of Leo paid out to delegators each day was like roughly close to like 18,000, like 15 to 18,000. It obviously fluctuates each day because it's based on the Leo to Hive price. But now that Leo has started to go up, I think yesterday it paid like 10,000 Leo instead of like 15 to 18,000. So the amount of Leo being paid out each day is actually decreasing. And that's because of the price of Leo going up against the price of Hive. So Hive is sitting at 36 cents and Leo is now at 5 cents. And, a couple of weeks ago, Leo was at like 3.5 cents and Hive was at 40 cents. So as that ratio changes, the amount of Leo paid per day is going to start to decrease, which is actually a good thing because, that just means that essentially that just means that less Leo needs to get paid to delegators, right? So there's less Leo flowing to people who are potentially just delegating high power and then selling all the Leo. So that's kind of why we saw a lot of selling pressure on Leo the past several months. But I'm really happy with the changes and how everything's looking. You can see in that tweet that I sent, the inflation rate just kind of drop off a cliff. So it's good to see that. And like I said, when you combine that with actual built-in demand, that's a good thing. So just dropping inflation, I think, would have had a positive impact, but dropping inflation on its own is not super positive. Like it's not like a guarantee that price goes up. But when you combine that with actual demand, then you get that kind of base economic function working. So also I talked about the Leo burn account. So I noticed it was burning about 350 Leo a day. And that's been increasing. I think a big part of that is that we've gotten a lot of new users since the new UI and the Zealy campaign and all the stuff that Eric's doing with Leo growth. Our user base has more than doubled at this point, just since the beginning of 2023. And I think a big part of that has caused people to use other UIs to post content and just post in the Leo community. And when you do that, a small percentage of your Leo rewards actually gets burned. So that Leo gets sent to the @Leo burn account, and then the @Leo burn account sends it to null. So that's roughly 350 a day. So inflation right now is about 5,000 Leo tokens per day. About 350 of that is getting burned just autonomously by the Leo burn account. And then about 10,000 Leo a day needs to get bought for delegators. So you can see kind of some obvious math there that 5,000 Leo is minted each day, 5,000 minus 350 technically. But the Leo.bounties account actually has to buy 10,000 Leo a day. So twice as much Leo is being bought each day than is actually being created through new inflation, which is author, curation rewards, miners, and the WLEO geyser pool. So it's looking really positive on that front. The Leo price could still double right now, and the bounties account would be buying more than the inflation rate each day. So I think 10-cent Leo is probably, a relatively fundamental target that Leo could reach. Obviously, not financial advice, and prices of market prices are not driven entirely by fundamentals, right? But at least from a fundamental view, if the bounties account has to buy 5,000, if the bounties account has to buy Leo each day to distribute to the Leo.voter delegators, and that amount is 5,000 per day, and the inflation rate is also 5,000 per day at 10 cents. I think that's a pretty obvious balancing act. What else do we got? So I kind of started that off, just looking back at Eric's notes, started that off talking about the LPUD. So 525,000 Leo was powered up, obviously a huge record. 193 individual lions powered up, at least. So that's based on over 193 accounts powering up at least 150 Leo each. The last record was 175 users. So that was February that we hit that record. Eric's exact words: Leo strong as fuck. 267 lions powered up at least 10 Leo. So that's looking good. So just a lot of Leo getting powered up by a lot of different accounts. It's not just like whales powering up huge amounts of Leo. It's pretty well spread. I think that's what he's getting at. The curation updates are live and thriving. So in case you missed it, we put out a post on LeoFinance, the @LeoFinance account. Just grab it for you guys, where we talked about the changes to curation. And obviously those changes, I'm posting it in the Threadcast. So if you're in Discord, sorry, but go to the Threadcast. So we put up these curation changes because for a lot of different reasons, but I'd say one of the big reasons being that it's very hard to do good curation, and the post kind of goes into detail on it, but good curation on Hive has always been a problem. Hive's been around for what now, almost 7 years. Curating fairly, curating in a way that doesn't piss people off, curating, and making sure that new users are getting curated. It's all extremely hard to do, right? And we've kind of experimented and played around with all sorts of different ways to curate with Leo.voter. And doing so has been, a huge challenge. But I think there's something like really cool emerging out of some of these ideas. And Eric really spearheaded these curation updates. And what I find cool about it is that there's like 6 different ways that you can get curated. So curating, and a good tagline for this, I forgot who said it originally, but a good tagline for this is that it's a meritocracy, right? So curation, as it should be, which is that, if you want to get curated, it's based on, having certain merits within the LeoFinance community. And that means, doing things that are good for the community, in addition to like posting good content. Posting good content is just one piece of getting curated. I think another big piece is like having a good brand, for, like a personal brand for yourself. And then also, being like a cohesive and, collaborative member of the community. So Eric came up with all these different ways of kind of measuring basically measuring the merit of each LeoFinance user. And, every day and every week, kind of updating our rules to curation based around the merits that, individuals achieve on LeoFinance. So there's 6 different ways, and I'm not going to go super into detail because you can read the post, but there's stake based, which is basically like if you hold Leo power, that can be a factor into getting curated. There is, if you're a Leo ambassador, so if you're active in LeoFinance, like kind of like official campaigns, there's outreach based, engagement, leaderboard, and then community drivers. So if you want to really understand the kind of nitty gritty details, you should jump into that post and you'll see it all there. There's a lot to digest when it comes to this new set of curation rules. But what I think the general theme is, if you're active and engaging and collaborative, and you do things regularly that grow LeoFinance, and you're on the site, you spend time on the site, you make threads and stuff like that, you make long form content, you're going to get a lot more upvotes than you used to get under the old rules. And if you're not active and you're just kind of posting content and hoping to get Leo.voter votes, you're not going to get any votes. So I think what these rules have done is kind of shift the voting habits of Leo.voter toward people that are building our community. And, along with that, it means that less people who are doing less for our community are getting less votes. And people who are doing more for the community are getting more votes. So you're essentially just earning the votes that other people might have earned just because, Leo.voter was just trying to upvote content that was posted in the community. Now by being an active member, you're just getting all those votes. So I'm excited about the curation changes. You can see, you can kind of see those changes live if you start following the voting patterns of Leo.voter. I think there's already been a pretty significant shift in who's getting the most votes. And then also Eric told me to say, check the threads by the @LeoGrowth account. So the best way to do that is to go like this. The best way to do that is to go to this link. I'm also posting it in the Threadcast. So again, if you are in Discord, just head to Threadcast for all these links and you'll see that my account dropped them all in there. But if you follow the @LeoGrowth account on Threads, keep an eye out for the threads that allow you to submit posts every day. So that's a part of the new curation rules, is that as a user and Leo Power holder, you can actually submit posts to get curated. There's a limit to how many posts you can submit based on how much Leo Power you have. So I think that's kind of like a cool system that he came up with, which is, you don't just get upvotes because you have a lot of Leo Power. That's like upvote for upvote type of economy, which I don't think anybody wants to see. But what he's come up with is that your Leo Power rank, which is just you get ranked by how much Leo Power you hold, can dictate how many posts you can submit to get upvoted. So it kind of like basically the more Leo Power you have, the more say you have in how Leo.voter votes. But there's a layer in between that, basically a content filter layer, where even if you submit, if you submit a shitty post that has 10 words in it, and even if you have 1 million Leo Power, it doesn't matter, that post is not getting upvoted. So I think that's really important, is that we have like that quality filter. So it's not just like, hey, you have a bunch of Leo Power, go out and get a bunch of upvotes or something, or be able to dictate where upvotes are going just because you have Leo Power. Because you have Leo Power, you get to have a voice in it, but there is that kind of content filter that will make sure that you are that you're actually like submitting good content, essentially. And so another part of the curation updates is the Leo gamification leaderboards. So every week, Leo Growth posts a leaderboard, and that leaderboard basically has all sorts of different metrics on it. Maybe Eric can drop some links to them. The leaderboards will essentially be used in part for the curation activities as kind of like one of those 6 methods. And then there's also just a lot of gamification that comes through on that. So that's exciting to see develop. I think that covers us on all the curation stuff and Leo Power update. Yeah, covers us. Just reading through the rest of his notes.
Yeah, there's some other stuff in regard to monthly active users and things like that. But as far as the curation, I need to jump onto the Leo Growth account threads to grasp the creation updates. Can't make the most out of curation if you don't understand the rules.
Very true.
And I obviously was listening to you, but multitasking, writing the show recap post, which I might at some point have to just do away with so I can actually focus.
Just have Chat GPT write it.
There you go. That is a great move.
So next category that we were kind of talking about is monthly active users. So Eric said that we have 1,030 monthly active users already, which is a record number of monthly active users. And that record was actually, so the cool thing about monthly active users is that it's like a trailing metric, right? So that's 1,030 monthly active users from May 1st through May 16th, which is today. Obviously that means that we still have, 15 days left in this month. So over the next 15 days, every monthly active user that comes in is going to add to that 1,030 because that's like a trailing metric, right? So already halfway through the month, we've beaten the previous record. So I'm really curious to see what we end up at throughout the rest of this month. Maybe we'll start peaking out around 1,500. That would be nice. We also have 71,000 threads so far in May. The previous record was 43,000 in the whole month of February. So keep in mind, that's again a trailing metric. So probably going to have over 100,000 threads before the end of May. And then, yeah, I already covered all the Leo Power Update stuff. So that's pretty exciting on the monthly active user front. In terms of daily active users, we have around 500 that are daily active users, which is pretty incredible. So prior to February or January of this year, we were at 500 monthly active users in the LeoFinance UI. So now we're at 500 daily active users, probably going to push toward 1,500 monthly active users this month. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're on our way to 3xing the size of LeoFinance over the last 5 months, which is really exciting to see. It's also exciting to see all these metrics grow, despite the fact that the UI just went from alpha to beta, and it still has tons and tons of bugs, which I don't need to tell you guys about. You all know that. But we still have tons of bugs that need to get worked out, and things are definitely far from smooth on the UI. But despite all that, we still have a growing community, and people are still coming in every single day and working through, working with us on the issues instead of, just complaining and leaving. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that have complained and just left and don't feel like using the UI until it's smoother. But we can see that, the majority of people are sticking around, and we're also getting new users despite some of these issues. So you can only imagine how much better it'll be when, the UI is smooth and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with the growth that we're seeing lately. And a lot of it is thanks to Eric and all the stuff he's been doing with, Zealy and polls and collaborating with Hive communities. I think we already have like over 20 Hive communities that utilize threads to build their community and do stuff like author of the week polls and stuff like that. So on that topic, Hive community polls are thriving, but we need loyal lions to browse the tag #top authors every weekend to vote on these. The more decentralized the polls are, the better. So like I was saying, there's all these different Hive communities, and each one posts a poll once a week. I think it's every Friday. They post a poll, and you can vote using your Hive account directly on Threads for the top author in each community each week. And then that author will get tons of upvotes. So, we're working with OCD, They Call Me Dan, and then obviously Leo.voter, and we're giving out tons of upvotes, and there's probably, like, between the three of us, I think there's probably over 10 million Hive Power that's being directed towards that Author of the Week campaign. Eric could probably confirm that. So definitely another good way to get curated, to get noticed, to build your brand within the community. One thing I've always loved about Hive is that it's kind of like this place where you can build your own personal brand. You look at people like Taskmaster, who've basically build themselves up as a personal brand, and their whole account is centered around that brand. And they build relationships, and they put out good content, and then they kind of built like a mini business around their Hive account. So I'm excited that these curation changes, kind of going back to that, is kind of leading into it's leaning into the idea of building a personal brand, not only on Hive, but also on LeoFinance, where, you know, the more you do for the community, the more you build your brand and your name recognition, the more upvotes you're likely to get. That's the AMA
I see that
section.
there's tons of questions in that preloaded AMA questionnaire, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I'm just double checking that we hit on every other key point. Obviously, you know, the Zealy campaign is having success. I mean, hell, based on some of the stuff you were talking about, you know, between monthly active users and whatnot. It's a big piece of it. And what do we have? But yeah, obviously always need more users. So bring more folk
users is
into the
good.
Zealy campaign.
Yeah.
Future plan.
So
What do we have? Plan to continue with small campaigns, collaborating with other Hive projects. Cool.
yeah. So so one thing he was saying is we need more users in the Zealy campaign. So if you haven't joined yet, we're giving away $10,000 and 200,000 Hive Power delegations. You know, this is just one campaign, right? Like we're planning to do a lot more with Zealy. This is just like literally the beginning stages of Zealy, but it's going to be one of our biggest campaigns because it's the, you know, the UI launch campaign is what's ongoing right now. There's still over a month left. So if you haven't joined, or I think there's just under a month, maybe probably like 25, 30 days. So if you haven't joined yet, you can still join and you still have a really good shot at winning if you put in the work and complete the quest. So, you know, definitely invite your friends, get more people into Zealy. Eric also said we're doing, in the future, we're going to do conjoined mini campaigns with other Hive communities. So other Hive communities will be able to collaborate with us and get quests in our Zealy. And then they'll be able to bring their community members over to Threads and LeoFinance and leverage all the tools and the community power that we've built up both through Zealy and through LeoFinance directly, and then use that to kind of grow their community and also grow their presence directly on Threads. So, you know, a big keyword in the current philosophy of growing LeoFinance is collaboration. And Eric's been doing a really good job of not only reaching out to Hive communities, but reaching out to other projects in the crypto space and really working together to kind of get people over to Threads and get them using it actively. I know he's already talked to a few influencers and projects that are outside of Hive, and he's working to get them over onto Threads. And then we're going to give them a delegation, tell them to bring their community and, you know, use it as if they were using Twitter, but then be able to upvote their community using our Leo Power delegation to them and really like spread around Leo to more users. So I'm really excited about how all of that is progressing. And yeah, I think it's just gonna keep growing and grow exponentially.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, plenty of opportunity. Obviously, there's going to be more campaigns. Through Zealy, and as you mentioned earlier, some collab with other Hive projects. And I'm sure everyone's ears perked up when Cal said keyword, but he was just using that in general vernacular.
Yeah, that
and,
is not the keyword. It is a keyword.
People probably started looking around like this, like a cat perked up. But speaking of keyword, since you mentioned the word, might as well get it out there. So this week's keyword, or I guess keywords, is trade station. Trade station.
I wonder why that's the keyword.
Because we were talking about trading as we kicked the call off. Like, that's why. Trade station is actually a thing. It's actually a trading service. But yeah, trade station. Keyword is announced.
Love to see it. Read through some of these threads. So I think this is the last thing, which is kind of related to some of the stuff I was saying. that Eric gave us in terms of bullet points, non-AMA questions. We've had 3 meetings about collaborations with other projects outside of Hive and 11 more scheduled in the coming weeks. He said Leo adoption soon, his exact words. So definitely exciting to see all these different projects that we're kind of getting ready to collaborate with. So oh, and sorry, I also forgot in the author of the week stuff. So it's They Call Me Dan, OCD, Leo.voter, and block trades. So around 30 million hive power, which is fucking crazy, is used to curate the authors of the week. And like I said, there's like over 20 or 30, something like that, communities that are participating in that. So every week, basically every weekend, because I think they all post them on Friday. So every weekend, look out on that hashtag. Sorry, what's the hashtag? I forgot it. Is it author week? Eric's gonna help me out. I don't want to get it wrong.
I'm not gonna help you out because
It's hashtag. I don't want to get one of the words wrong. I know one of them. Top authors, hashtag top authors. I almost said author week, or maybe I did say author week. Hashtag top authors. So every weekend, look out for hashtag top authors, go there, vote on the polls, and your votes, every vote counts, right? So it's one Hive. The way that polls work right now is that it's one Hive account, one vote. So for every Hive account that votes, it counts as one vote. And then in the future, you're going to be able to customize the voting filters. So like if you want to, like, let's say that the the sharing community, let's say, or Posh, or any other Hive Engine token community, let's say that they want to come in and run a poll, and they say they take all Posh holders and they take your Posh balance, and the more Posh you have in your account, the more your vote counts compared to other people's. So basically stake weighted voting. There's gonna be all sorts of stuff like that. So that's gonna be different filtering options. So polls are here to stay. I think that polls are going to be one of the biggest use cases for LeoFinance within the Hive community. Even if people don't want to thread, they don't want to do, microblogging or even long form blogging on LeoFinance, I could still see a lot of Hive users coming just for the simple use case of polls. But what I love is that we built polls directly into threads so that, when you are using polls, you're also kind of having that discussion forum. And I think most people are going to kind of use polls, but maybe like they come for the poll, but they basically stay for the threading. So I think it all works together pretty cohesively. So I'm excited about that. Taskmaster claims that we're going to have over 100,000 threads before the end of this weekend. I could definitely see that happening. Definitely could see it happening. So that covers all of the bullet points that Eric gave us, all 100,000 of them. And now we can get into AMA questions whenever you're ready.
indeed.
Mitch says he's tricked Eric.
Yes, I'm multitasking. I think Eric, well, I guess technically I originally typed it as 2 words, but people ran with 1 word, and why not? TradeStation can be 1 word, just like LeoFinance is. So just so there's clarity, TradeStation, 1 word. Just mash it together, 1 word. And that's all I got to say about that. Yes, so just to recap, check out the Leo growth threads to get all the info on the curation updates. Continue, obviously, promoting the Zealy campaigns, because there will be more. So there will be opportunity for existing players and new players alike. And then, yeah, we have some good pre-game AMA questions. And yeah, I don't know if there's any one particular you want to start on, but some of these are items that have been lingering and are on the to-do list, like when account switching.
That's actually live. So yeah, let's jump into these questions. So we can do the pre questions, and then we can jump into the live questions. So if you guys want to ask questions right now throughout the show, go to the Threadcast. Eric just dropped the link like a minute or two ago. Go to the Threadcast and ask questions. We'll do those after the pre questions. So when account switching, that's already live. And I know that there was a bug with it. And we were working on it the last couple of days. It looks like it's working right now. So if you guys have had any issues, let me know. But as far as I can see, it's working again. We pushed an update for it, I think like yesterday. So it was either yesterday or this morning. I don't remember, but we pushed an update for that. So hopefully when account switching is now, not soon. When following tab for long form. So that's basically the my feed page that's on other Hive UIs. That is coming soon. There are a few issues with doing the my feed tab for the way that the UI is built. So we essentially have to build it into the Leo cache service, but basically it's more complicated than we expected, but we are working on it. Ideally, I would like to have it done by this Friday, but we'll see. So let's say tentatively this Friday, if not next Friday for sure, we'll have it done. So this month is largely focused, and I've said this before, the month of May is largely focused on fixing bugs and making the UI really smooth. And then we're going to get back to adding new features for everybody, whether it's long form or short form. We're gonna start hammering out a lot of new features. We actually have a lot of features on, basically on deck, but we don't want to launch the features right just yet until we get a lot of these bugs worked out that are already, on the UI as it is. So we're gonna keep squashing bugs and then get these features rolled out ASAP. Photo uploading, I think it's referring to that some people have problems uploading on mobile. That actually is a Hive Signer issue. I believe if you log in with your posting key, I can test it while we're live on air. If you log in with your posting key on mobile or Hive Keychain, I believe you can post images without any issues from mobile. Obviously, image uploading works just fine on desktop, but let me do some live beta testing.
Live beta.
Yeah, let's see if it works with my posting key. It might not. It's looking like it might not. So image uploading, like I said, it affects mobile, but desktop, you should have no issues. Yeah, looks like I'm having issues even with posting key. So I'll take a look at that. So mobile photo uploading coming soon to a thread near you. Thread curation with Leo.voter ? In my opinion, thread. Oh, okay. Yeah. So threads are not necessarily, I think, especially with the way the Hive culture is, a lot of people want, it's all about the upvotes, right? Like everybody wants upvotes all the time. And I'm all for that, like rewarding the community. That's a big part of Web3, is spreading around votes and spreading around stake and, getting it into more hands, especially for people who are engaged. But, I could see at some point in the future, maybe like, the top thread of the week or the top threader of the month or something would get like some Leo.voter upvotes on their threads. But threads are more for, first of all, for.
Not sure about the,
I am back.
He's back.
I
I
don't know why.
but it was, yeah.
Weird.
You,
I got booted from Zoom randomly.
Yeah, well, the good news is the Zoom didn't close. I was actually expecting it to shut down.
Weird.
Well, the good news
All right.
is you're able to come right back. Cool.
Cool.
I think, and I think the YouTube is still going.
Yeah, hopefully it didn't cut the live streams. One nice thing about Zoom is I think they cloud the live stream. So
Yeah, the YouTube's still going.
if I disconnect it, it'll keep it going. So anyways, I was talking about upvoting threads with Leo.voter. So yeah, like I said, threads are more for, discussion and yes, upvoting, but more so for Leo to get spread around. I think a lot of the Hive curation that exists is like a cultural change that needs to happen. And there's a lot that I think can be done on that front. And I think we're kind of leading the charge in a lot of ways with a lot of these curation updates based around, being an engaged member of the community. And like I said, the meritocracy idea. So yeah, I mean, I could see a future where we do something like top thread of the week with like the most replies or something, gets some sort of Leo.voter upvote. But threads are more for spreading Leo around and engaging and, micro blog, micro earn, right? Like if you post 100 tweets a day and you start earning, that's a good thing, and, build up your brand and stuff like that. So all sorts of other ways to earn on threads than just, getting some Leo.voter upvotes.
Hey, I will take Leo.voter upvotes anytime of the week. So
Yep.
feel free to set on auto vote. Weekly
We will be
recap post
upvoting
auto
threads with Leo.voter, but we will only upvote threads posted by Scaredy Cat Guide.
There you go. Wait, hold on. That means I actually have to thread regularly instead of still doing long form.
There you go. We finally converted him into a user.
I thread here and there, but I mean, I'm a long form cat. What do you want out of me? So, but I still squeeze in the threads.
Yeah, it's been funny to see like some of the more long form users like getting acquainted with threads. Like there's definitely a barrier in getting from long form to short form, but the cool thing is that you still get to do both, right? So don't feel like you get segmented into one or the other. You can do both.
Exactly.
Yeah. When automated drop down menu when you type at. So like basically what they're saying is like if I were to post a thread right now and I start typing at SCA, it would have a drop down menu and it'd be like offering me suggestions like at Scaredy Cat Guide. Sooniverse that will come. Like I said, May is very largely focused on bug fixes. June and beyond will be a lot of new features. But live beta right now, we need to do a lot of bug fixes. They're asking Leo on centralized exchanges. I think I have a philosophy about centralized exchanges that their value is continually being degraded. And I think, post FTX and all that stuff, you can kind of see that more so, that a lot of coins got hurt because, their primary listing was on FTX, for example. It kind of takes some of the power away from decentralization, away from the community, and puts it in the hands of a centralized exchange with centralized actors who don't have our best interests at heart. That being said, I do still see value in liquidity. I've always been a big proponent of having a lot of liquidity, which is why Leo has 5 different trading, 5 different places it can be traded, 4 of them being decentralized automated market making liquidity pools. So liquidity is a big deal for me, and I do believe in having a lot of liquidity. So I could definitely see a day where, there's certain centralized exchanges out there where Leo could get listed. That being said, I don't think it's like the solution to all of our problems. Like I think a lot of people look at listing their coins on exchanges as being the solution to every problem. I don't see it that way. I do see it in a way where it adds value in terms of liquidity, but like I said, I don't see it as like a fix-all solution, which is how other people I think view it.
So sidebar, just because I see people making comments about like uploading video or whatever, but I saw like one of the pre-game questions was photo uploading, but isn't that, I'm assuming that's already live, right? I mean, I feel like, or is that not?
Yeah,
So it is for
so
long form, but not for threads.
no, so I was talking about it. So when you upload photos on desktop, it works fine. Mobile has some issues, and it's primarily because of Hive Signer and the way it works with threads. But I think I think we'll have that fixed pretty soon, probably by Friday, if not next Friday. Like I said, we already have most of the update for this Friday ready, so that's why I keep saying maybe this Friday, but by next Friday for sure that bug will be fixed.
Cool.
Mixed options to show vote value in Leo, Hive, USD, maybe even total. Yeah, we were actually just talking. I just had a dev meeting where we were talking about that. The plan right now is that it's obviously it defaults to dollar value. The plan is to keep it so that it defaults to dollar value, but in the settings page, you'll be able to change it if you want to just see, if you want to see the Leo value or the Hive value or dollar value, or maybe you want to see Bitcoin sats value. We're going to have a lot of different options available in the settings page. And then when you hover over it, it's going to give you the breakdown of what you're actually earning. So if you're earning, 2 cents worth of Hive and 10 cents worth of Leo, it'll say 10-cent Leo, 2-cent Hive, total 12 cents. So that is coming in the Sooniverse. Next question, when mobile usability? So we pushed some mobile updates. If you've gone to Threads on mobile, then you'll see that we've got like a really nice clean menu at the bottom, and Threads is relatively mobile responsive, and it's far from perfect, but it's kind of on its way there. So I actually do a lot of my threading from mobile. I'd say probably at least half of my threading is from mobile, just because it's nice when I'm on the go, or might be in like a Zoom call or something, and I can just kind of thread real quick. So mobile usability is definitely something we're going to keep working on, and I have a lot of ideas for making it better, like making certain icons bigger and making things load faster, and more options in the settings page, stuff like that. So definitely gonna improve that. People want more UI width for long form reading. Yeah, I've seen that in a few different places. I mean, personally, I like the skinny, like, because it's easier to like scan through and skim read, which is what I tend to do. But yeah, I think, and I've talked about this plenty of times, but the idea for the Leo UI is to build something that is modular, a modular experience. So everything that each user is different, right? Like I like skinny long form posts. I like to skim it. I like for it to be narrow. Other people, they like it super wide, super long, where they can just see the whole post like in one go and they don't have to keep scrolling down. That's a very like subjective experience. And the whole theory that we have about Web3 is that everything should, as much power as is possible, should be given to the users. So that's the philosophy that I believe in. And in line with that, I would like the settings page to give you all sorts of options for how wide do you want content, what font do you want to read your long form content in, how wide is the menu, like all sorts of stuff like that, like what is actually in the menu. Like I think all of that stuff should be up to the user, and we just provide the tooling to basically collect. We basically provide the tooling to turn LeoFinance into what you want it to be, and that's my end goal for this UI. Is that if you want to only see long form, you can only see long form. If you want to only see short form, you can only see short form. If you want to see a mix of both in the same feed, you can see both. If you want your long form content to be super wide, it can be super wide. If you want it to be super narrow, it can be super narrow. All of that stuff should be up to the user, and it is all possible for us to build it that way. So that is coming in the longer term Sooniverse, but still soon.
I mean, those, in the end, those variables and options are nice and all, and someone that obviously prefers even like the wider view, because I use desktop more often. I'm just used to that kind of like blog type UI. But like I'm looking at the long form right now, and obviously it's skinny for a reason, because it falls within the template of quote unquote threads, and that thread/Twitter template where you have that left side menu and that right side bar with all the other information. So based on that, you kind of have just like the post in the middle, so to speak. And from the jump, am I a fan of it? Not really, because again, that old school view, but I'm already getting used to it. So I guess, cool to have those options, but yeah, definitely not something that, like you said, is high on the menu in terms of getting it done, right away.
Yep.
So it's a nice
We're
to
aiming
have,
for.
but the reality is by the time you actually get to it, everyone's probably gonna get used to the layout as it is.
Right. Well, that's why,
So
yeah, I mean, that's why I think the users should get to decide, We have a default
exactly.
view that's available, but ultimately, if you don't like it and you want it to be different, you can, change it.
Exactly. So yeah, like it goes back to what I was saying. It'll be a nice feature to have, nice option. I'm gonna call it an option because it's not really a feature, it's more so an option.
Yeah, I like it.
But
I think we're pretty much there. More crypto tickers and maybe even stocks. Yeah, that is the plan. Right now we have 20 crypto tickers available, obviously like Leo, Cub, Hive, and then some other top cryptos. But yeah, the plan is to actually support every crypto ticker. We just this is kind of like an early beta version of the ticker thing. But we actually are plugged into the CoinGecko API. So in theory, every coin that is available on CoinGecko could be a potential ticker for us. So the next step would be just opening up the ability to have more. We just want to do it in a way that's scalable and make sure we don't slow down the UI at all. And then as for stocks, we still have to figure out where we're going to plug into in terms of API, potentially something like a Yahoo Finance, something like that. Where we'll be able to give out tickers for those for pretty much any stock that's listed. So you want to see the price of Tesla, you do $TSLA, and then you get the price of Tesla. You can see how the CATS options trade is doing directly on Threads.
come on, Tesla, and apparently now come on, Amazon. I don't need to root for Tesla. Taskmaster's got that covered for all of us.
He probably does. He writes about Tesla at least twice a day. It's crazy.
I don't even know how he writes so much.
He's a robot.
He must be. I can't. I mean, he does have the Terminator sunglasses.
Cool. So that covers all the pre-questions. That was long. That was a lot of questions.
A lot of stuff we just covered between the updates, the questions, and but yeah, if you have any questions, any fresh questions, throw them into Discord, throw them into YouTube.
Threadcast.
Yes, and oh yeah, Threadcast for sure. Well, Cal's looking at the Threadcast. I'm keeping an eye on Discord and YouTube. So I don't even have the Threadcast open anymore because there's just too many screens. The recap post is finished. I will drop that link in a moment. It's got most of what we talked about in there. And then, yeah, obviously general crypto market. I feel like that's a Eric specific request. It's like, he's like, I want Cat's analysis of Bitcoin chart.
By the way, there's $122,000 in trading volume the past 24 hours on Wrapped Leo, just the Wrapped Leo pool, which is pretty
That's
crazy.
cool.
That's pretty crazy. Cool. So should we rapid fire some of these Threadcast questions?
What do we got here? Wrapped Leo, 122K volume. Sweet. Oh, and that's
on
on
184K liquidity too.
That's W Leo, huh?
Yeah, that's W Leo. Getting some love.
Dude, honestly, like I'm not even gonna lie. I can't even remember the last time I looked at W Leo. I'm not even gonna front. I forget it even is a thing sometimes.
It's the deepest liquidity pool for Leo.
It is, and I totally forget about it. Because when I need to do something, I'm usually doing B Leo.
B Leo is a lot more reliable.
Decent liquidity. P Leo is a crapshoot from what I've seen.
Yeah, Polygon is not always compliant. Let's say that.
So yeah, liquidity. But I have not wrapped or unwrapped in a while. I did a big one. What was it? A few months ago. Actually, I think it was I had unwrapped a bunch of P Leo and then powered it up as regular Leo.
Nice.
So I did not participate in LPUD this month. I forgot to power up any. I have some liquid that I've been holding, like a small percentage of my Leo holdings. Keep a small percentage liquid in case I want to flip it into B Leo or P Leo or, you know, whatever.
Smart.
Got to have a
Very smart.
little loose powder.
Smart.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, if you see questions on the Threadcast, have at it.
Cool. Let me just
I
rapid
can.
fire a bunch of them because there's 126 of them.
Sheesh.
Let's see
Well,
what we can do here.
yeah, who will be the lucky winner?
Not sure if you will cover it or it's been covered ad nauseum, but how is the rethread function coming along? So rethread is a function or a feature that is going to come out of LeoCache, which we're currently working on. LeoCache is essentially kind of like the old project that we called Lightning. It's basically the new version, new kid on the block for that. And we need that to basically interact between the UI and Hive to kind of create like these, they're almost like second layer functions in a way, but they're still obviously, they're all custom JSON functions on the Hive blockchain, but our UI needs to have basically a way to read them and show what we want to show on the UI. My sound is gone on Discord.
Yeah, apparently you disappeared on Discord. You and Discord are not
I
getting along
just
today.
left and rejoined. Let me know if you guys can hear me now.
I didn't even see you leave or rejoin. Is he back? Yes.
Am I good? Am I good now? So rethreading will come once. Okay,
Yep.
good now. Rethreading will come once LeoCache is fully live. Because we, like I said, think of threads almost, and some of these. So actually not threads because threads are comments, but think of like certain features on threads like polls as kind of almost being like Splinterlands, right? Like Splinterlands uses custom JSONs to play the game, right? And it reads those JSONs and then it outputs what it wants to output into the game and the UI. That's how we use custom JSONs. So like poll voting and results are based around custom JSONs on the Hive blockchain. Rethreading is going to be based around custom JSONs on the Hive blockchain. So we need that basically second layer, which we're calling LeoCache, in order to have things like rethreading, and that is coming soon. So the dev was saying potentially by the end of May you'll have rethreading. So we'll see. But I'm excited for that feature because I retweet a lot of stuff on Twitter. I think it's a really cool feature. How are the updates on long posts going? They're going well. We've got a lot of work to do on long form. You know, we pushed out a few updates like now. You know, I know this was a big one that Mitch requested, but having the blog feed on profile pages, that
yes, I can finally see my blog.
There you go. So we are working on them. We're working our way through them. But like I said, May is heavy bug fixes, not new features in May. We still are pushing new features when we need to, but bug fixes is not the keyword, but a keyword. Are you doing something about the new UI that doesn't allow mobile users to click the publish button on the long form publishing module is what he's talking about? Yeah, we're working on that. We're actually building an entirely new publishing page. Let me see if I can get you guys the teaser that we modeled out in Figma. Let's see here. We're building an entirely new publishing page, not entirely new, but we're basically taking the publishing page we built and it's kind of raw in the way that we've built it so far. And we're actually, you know, putting it into a real UI, so to speak. This is close to how it's actually going to look. This is just a Figma drawing, but that's what it's going to look like. Just post it in Discord. Yeah, so it'll fix that issue. Suniska just posted a image in Discord where it's like overlapping each other. The publishing UI is actually not polished at all. It's just that's like the raw version of what we built. The one I just shared is like the fully built version of it. And you know, it's going to look something like that. It'll be a little bit different because I had some input afterwards, but That is kind of the
Either way,
starting
it's
point.
pretty solid.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
then you're
starting
gonna
point for
have
that to be awesome.
yeah, and then you're gonna have like this drop down. Obviously, it's not gonna be there, but when you hit these 3 arrows, you'll have this drop down for auto saving drafts and previews and cool shit like that. I mean, the UI needs a lot of work, but some polishing is coming. What else we got? Let me get back to my tab here. I covered that. Long form feed, we answered that. The my feed page is coming soon. Replying a comment on my long form post is hard to do. We actually pushed an update for that like 48 hours ago. So Rubilu, let me know if that's still an issue, but we did just push a fix for that. That should hopefully work. IDK Samad said Leo gonna be scarce, hashtag bullish. Very true, very true. Random said nice, the record got doubled even with a massive gain on Leo. Yeah, Leo's at like 5 cents right now, which is, you know, getting close to 2x what it was before, but we still hit a new record for LPUD, so love to see it. Taskmaster said sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's been a kick-ass May already, and we're only halfway through the month.
Yeah, May is our biggest month yet for pretty much everything. LPUD, monthly active users, daily active users, number of threads per day, probably even long form content is hitting some records despite having some issues on the UI, but our user base is just so much bigger now. And then obviously the Leo price going up, you know, 50-60%. Taskmaster said that Cryptomaniacs is, I think is live on here until Cryptomaniacs. Yeah, so maybe they're live now because that was an hour ago. So if we jump off and they're still live, make sure to check out the Crypto.
Oh, that makes sense.
Podcast.
Yeah, I was wondering why Task, it wasn't usually Task is hitting the threadcast hard, so makes sense.
Yeah. Didn't they know that it was the When Soon show?
Apparently not.
I did not know there was a prize for participating in Leo Power Up Day. I just participated on the Zealy challenge. Zealy doing wonders. Yeah, Zealy's working on getting, you know, information out to people. So that was from Lee B1. And yeah, I mean, like there's Leo Power Up Day rewards, and you know, Zealy is doing a great job of like focusing everyone's attention on the right things at the right times. So that's one thing I love about Zealy is I think whether you're a new community member or an existing community member, there's a lot of stuff going on that you might not know about. And Zealy is definitely a good way to teach everybody about that stuff. Peniel said, I will say that the quest contributed to the level of turnout for LPUD. The record is massive. Yeah, I think Zealy had a big impact on that. Taskmaster said,
I mean,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, based on the stats that Eric had put up, I mean, you know, there was a lot of sub 100 Leo power ups even. So you got to figure that's brand new users, and you know, there's a lot of brand new users in the Zealy campaign. So that's definitely having a positive impact for sure.
100%. Taskmaster said on Thursday, the 25th, Cal will be on Cryptomaniacs. So be nice to this for the next week. So
When was it?
So be nice so he doesn't get upset and not show up. That's funny.
Nah.
And that means that Nifty needs to stop teasing him about feet. That's funny. I don't mind the teases about feet. I like feet. Not too much though.
That makes one of us. Would you say the 25th?
25th, which is next Thursday. I will be on the Cryptomaniacs podcast.
Nice. Speaking of next week, are you A, going solo, B, are we moving it, or C, skipping altogether? Because the cat will be in transit this time next Tuesday.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric about that. We may potentially, this is not confirmed, but possibly, we'll be doing that live show again where people can jump in and ask questions live. So I don't know if you remember, we did that. I think we did that one time when you were out like a couple months
Yes.
ago.
I think that's a good idea because you want to stay consistent with the schedule.
Yeah, and we've had a lot of turnout every week. So I think we'll do something. We'll do something. It'll never be the same without the cat, but we'll try. We'll do something.
I don't know. I've been pretty reserved this show. I was
And there's a
busy.
lot of updates. I feel like I'm like losing my voice over here.
Yeah. I've been letting you do your thing. I'm just writing recaps and keep an eye on YouTube and all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We just kind of do, a live Q&A next Tuesday. And obviously, there's going to be updates to share. So it'll be like a hybrid. It'll be kind of the show with more Q&A.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, it's good because I mean we've been somewhat consistent lately with the Tuesdays. So at noonish.
Yep.
Tuesdays noonish.
Tuesday. Let's see here. Good to hear. Oh, good to hear that users delegate Hive to Leo.voter and earn rewards. What is the reward when a user delegates Leo token instead? So it's two different ways that two different things that I think he might be asking. I'm not 100% sure, but let me just answer both. So if you delegate Hive Power to Leo.voter, the rewards work the same way that they did before in terms of what you receive. So you are receiving the same amount of Leo that you would have received under the old model. The only difference is that the rewards that you're earning are not newly inflated Leos. They are Leo that is bought off the market using curation rewards and Oracle earnings for the Leo oracles. So that's where the rewards come from for delegators of Hive Power to @Leo.voter. I also can't tell the way he asked it if he means what you can earn if you delegate Leo. So if you want to delegate Leo Power, Leo.voter does not pay for Leo Power. It pays Leo tokens for Hive Power delegations. And if you want to delegate Leo Power, I know that there's a few community projects out there that you can search up maybe on Google or something. I think one of them is called like Curator Cat or something. No affiliation to Security Cat. But
there's not, but I'm happy when that curation votes on my posts.
So
yeah, in fact, someone actually messaged me, I remember way back when, because they thought that like that was my curation account or that initiative was led by me, and I was like, nope, just a really cool name though, and I'm glad they vote on me sometimes.
Yeah. So if you want to delegate Leo Power, I don't know. There are options out there. And then we do have LeoFi.io, which is a marketplace for Leo Power delegations. It's not highly utilized right now, but I think at some point in this universe it will be. What else we got before I lose my voice?
Right. Yeah, I was on a call last night that I didn't expect to be on, real estate related stuff, and it ended up going for like a couple hours, and my voice was beat up.
Yeah. Random asks, may we have the video image dimensions that are best for a thread post? I actually don't know them off the top of my head. If anybody knows what the best dimensions are for an image, then feel free to post them up somewhere. We are working on something where you can hover or click over images and get a better view of them, like a cool image carousel. That is coming in this universe. When is updates to the mobile version coming? I kind of answered that before, but soon. We're always working on the mobile version.
I like Trump's question, when Leo Fest? I can
Very
tell you
soon.
this, not in 2023, because
no, you don't think so?
No, this is why I don't think so, because allegedly in September, LeoFinance will be going to a crypto conference with many other Hive dApps. So that's mid-September. So if that happens, then in order for us to have something in 2023, that means you're putting something together, shortly after or Q4, and December's usually a wash because holidays. So unless there's a Leo Fest in October or November, so I'm sticking with not this year.
You
But
never
maybe
know.
Cal will
Maybe there'll be a digital Leo Fest this year to set up the
Oh,
in-person Leo
wow.
Fest
That's
next year.
different.
You
That's
never
different.
know.
Yeah, you can set that. That's a good idea. You should do a digital Leo Fest little warm up for in person next year.
You never know. You never
I'm
know.
down. Miami, Leo
I
Fest.
mean Miami would be on at the top of my list for places.
Well, I think it's a win too, because I mean it's the easiest point for everybody. You know, like think about it, like for Eric, that's probably a good destination for him. And all our other, you know, Latin American community. And then for the US folk, obviously Miami, easy destination. So
Yep. I want Leo Fest to be a event that is not just about Leo, but more of a crypto event that happens to be built, hosted, whatever by Leo. And the event is more so just a generalized crypto event where we invite a lot of just top speakers. Like I don't want just a small, venue and event where, it's just like a small event. I'm gonna, when we do an in-person Leo Fest, I'm gonna do it big. Cancun would be fun too. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be, I want to have some of the top people in crypto coming to that event to speak. And it's not just all about Leo. Like every slide's not going to be about Leo and things happening in Leoverse. It's going to be, there's going to be a Leo section. I'm sure, I would give like some sort of talk and presentation about Leo and stuff we're doing. But I would say that's going to be like one aspect of it, like one small aspect. The rest of it is going to be big name speakers. Bitcoin Flood said to give away a Lambo. Maybe we'll give away a Lambo that says Leo somewhere on it.
somewhere on it, talking about be wrapped. Leo
just
logo
wrapped
right
in Leo.
center of the hood. Boom. And then LeoFinance on the side.
Yep, I like it. LeoFinance.io everywhere on it. The Leombo. We got to come up with a good name for that. We'll wrap it in wrapped Leo. That's funny.
That's I mean, not for nothing, like a burnt orange Lambo with the LeoFinance logo on the hood would be pretty badass looking.
That would be. I like that idea. Twice as much Leo is being bought than created. Gotcha, says Random. Sounds like he's caught on to the 10-cent Leo prediction. How much? So a percentage, a percentage of the Leo that you earn when you post from a different UI to the LeoFinance community gets burned to @LeoBurn. Someone asked this. Lebby asked this. I think this information Cal is saying needs to be documented. Too much information is being passed on, and I'm sure I will miss out on some. I hope there will be a post containing all of this information.
It's containing about 50% of it, and that post is up and here. It's in Discord, and I guess I can put it. I should put it in the threadcast, which I have to actually go find again. Scroll all the way up. A good chunk of it's in there, but not all of it.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Where's the threadcast? There it is. See if it works. All right, yes, I'm gonna say it in YouTube. It wasn't working.
Let's see what else we got here. Don't forget to upvote the cat, by the way.
Recap post.
What else we got? If the Leo price spikes, that means delegators Leo amount lowers because the 16% APR needed is covered by fewer Leos. Very true from a Nomad Soul. Very, very true. It's kind of a nice like self-balancing system where, the higher the price of Leo, the less you need, the less Leo you need to pay delegators, the lower the price, the more you need to pay delegators. Kind of interesting the way that it works. But essentially, like if the price were to go down a lot, then it creates kind of a nice bump, if you will, in the way that Leo tokens are flowing through the economy. Because like, let's say like right now it's about 10,000 Leo a day that needs to get bought and sent to delegators at the price of about 5 cents per Leo. If the Leo price were to go to 2.5 cents, so it drops by 50%, that amount would now be 20,000 Leo per day that needs to get bought and sent to delegators. So now 20,000. So if the price comes down, more Leo is being removed from the market by the Leo.voter buying activities and sent to delegators. So not every delegator is going to sell. Some of them, actually, I think most of them stake it. Some of them will sell, but that's basically built-in buying power for Leo every single day. And you know, it's kind of a nice equalizing system. So that's why I think things will start to get interesting around 10 cents, where you kind of have like that fundamental level for Leo in terms of how much is bought per day and how much is sent to delegators each day. And if you're not delegating high power to Leo.voter, consider it, especially with our new Hive curation rules and buying activities. The more high power that gets delegated, the more Leo that needs to get bought. And also the more high power we have, the more ability we'll have to reward members of the community and grow our community. Taskmaster said, a lot of changes taking place. We are looking at some good things happening. The key is to focus upon, the key to focus upon is we will have misses and failures, but experimentation and change is what forges projects ahead. The reason is there will be successes. Yeah, you'll have success and failures. You know, I think one key thing about LeoFinance is that we are kind of always breaking shit and trying shit and changing shit. And I think that's one of the reasons why Leo has succeeded where others have failed, is that, you know, we don't give up on stuff, but we do try stuff and we're willing to be wrong in a big way. But, you know, always kind of going back to the drawing board and evaluating and evolving.
I don't know if you noticed, Sunseeker mentioned best measure for images is 1264 by 723.
There you go. Sweet. I actually didn't even know that. So
I don't know how she knows that, but pretty cool.
it'd be cool if we got that image added to that image sizing added to like Canva or something. Might be cool marketing, because they have like all the like make an Instagram post and it has a preset.
Yeah, that would have the LeoFinance template. That's pretty. That would be badass.
That might be something we could work on.
Hashtag Eric, more work. Reach out to Canva.
I kind of said that with like a wink to Eric.
Put it on the list. Reach out to Canva. I don't even know if I pronounced that username right, but you know, there's the T, and then I'm like, I feel like that's like Sunseeker, like you know.
You think so? I think it's Suniska. I could be wrong.
You're probably right, but I just want to say Sunseeker because it's just like
sounds cool.
A lot of women, you know, they love the sun and they're seekers of the sun.
I think it's a silent T, and it's
Suniska. I'm the T.
It's my
there you go, like tsunami. So sun. So I'm going Sunseeker.
Do you say tsunami?
But anyway, that's completely random.
Sunseeker.
Just trying to, you know, pronounce people's usernames correctly. Not my strong point. Boom, there we go. It works. Sunseeker.
Sunseeker. I like it.
Boom. Eric, we don't use first names except for yours, and apparently mine, Cal's.
It's funny because people, a lot of people ask, like, you see questions in the YouTube comments and stuff, and people are like, "Who is Eric?" Yeah, it's kind of funny.
If I didn't know the first couple of times,
it's really funny.
I mean, yeah. My name only, like, well, because I have it in Discord on places, but then also like it's on the Zoom. But yes, the cat or Mitch, either one work.
Let's see if I can get a few more of these.
Girl from the sun. Okay.
My sign is Leo. So
there you go.
Here. Oh wow, I like it. I like it.
Well, we're not in Leo season yet. We've got a couple months. Right now we're in Taurus season, aka the cat season.
It's the cat season. When is the cat's
Yes,
birthday?
let's not talk about that. I didn't even, I just remembered that Thursday, apparently I turn another year.
Oh,
Yuck.
2 days until the cat's birthday.
Yuck. Yeah, we'll be up in New York for it.
Sweet. Make sure you send the cat some Leo for his birthday present.
Duh. I mean, I won't say no.
He won't send it
No,
back, so just send it to him.
no
Say
tequila, Eric.
Send him some
Tequila's
Leo and say happy birthday in the memo.
Tequila is the one liquor that I will not drink.
I love tequila. Do love tequila. I don't drink that much these days, but do love tequila.
I haven't drank at all because I'm doing that 75 hard challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like 30 days in, so I still got to get through.
Someone said Hennessy for the cat.
I don't like Henny either.
That's funny.
I'm a simple man. Give me some Captain Morgan's and some Jack Daniels and I'm good. Even when I, and that's if I barely ever drink anymore.
Yeah, I don't really drink. I probably haven't had anything to drink in a month or two.
All y'all people that are under 40 will learn. Sometimes your body doesn't like things anymore. And as much as the Jack and Coke is tasty, it's definitely not worth the aftermath anymore. It's like instant heartburn. There you go. Time Travelers is on the 19th. We got more tail end Tauruses in the house because Gemini starts a few days later.
Oh,
Not even. Yeah. Gemini is like the 20 something, 21st or whatever. So I always joke and say I'm a hybrid because Geminis are supposed to be creative and I must have got that creativity from there. Yes, Bitcoin flood. That is the truth. That's why I don't even really drink coffee anymore. Avdex is the 4th. Happy belated. We got a bunch of May babies in here.
love it.
May's an awesome month. It's been an awesome month for LeoFinance.
It really has been. Really has been.
So there's much to celebrate. This is cool. Whatever. Damn, we're creeping up on 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more questions, but I might have to just jump in and text respond to them because I mean, we got at least 40 or 50 more. So
yeah,
might as well.
Going forever.
Yeah, I feel like we got a good stopping point. You want to close us out with closing words about the market and where you think it's going?
Cal will be in the threadcast responding to questions for the next 6 hours.
It's probably going to happen.
Here is the Hanged Man. Everything is upside down. I'm not even sure how to react to that, Morty, or what to even do with that. But that kind of might sound all right, I think. I really don't know what to do with that. I'm going to figure out a positive spin for the Hanged Man. Everything's upside down. Very interesting. Yeah, general crypto market. I mean, I don't know. Obviously that impacts Leo, but maybe it doesn't. Leo had a nice boost while the market goes sideways. But at the same time, Cub is kind of just chilling. So, that's more impacted by upticks in crypto, especially like BNB. But yeah, I don't know. The Bitcoin chart gave us a nice reversal candle the other day when it looked like it was failing at that like 26 and change, 27K support level. So when we got that big reversal candle, last time we got one of those is when we ripped from like 20K to like 30. So, or whatever it was, 20 to 25, the beginning of the, the up move. So I was like, shit. Doesn't guarantee we're going to go up, but it's good to see that it looked like we were failing on that support level and it ended up holding it, which is still holding it. We haven't gotten any kind of follow through bounce, but we're still holding that like 27K level. And really the support goes down to like 26 and change. But so, I mean, I don't know if it's bullish, but it definitely is a positive because the bears tried to knock price down and 25K would have been on the table had it failed, and then huge rally same day. So, it leans positive at least. But yeah, I jumped on it. I had a short hedge, a small short hedge on that I decided to cover at a small loss, and then I actually flipped it long for a trade. So either that pattern's going to play out and it'll work out well, or the crypto market tricked me, and so we shall see. That bottoming tail was pretty big. I mean, it went down to 25.8, and it was funny because I had some orders in at 25, like just like to buy long term Bitcoin. So so close. I think I had orders at like 25.1.
It was a nice little scare. It was a nice little scare.
Yeah, and then it turned out to be a positive. Like the buyers stepped up. So, but no follow through is not making me excited though.
True.
And
Might
I'm not even looking forward to on that reversal. I wasn't looking forward to like, oh, we're gonna rip through 30K now. I was just looking for a bounce up to like even like 28, 29, like within this range. Because the reality of we've been in this 26 and change, call it like 26.7, right? 26,700, essentially up to like 30 and change. We've been in that now since March like 18th. So we're creeping up on 2 months now where we've been in this like, $3,500, $4,000 range on Bitcoin. So, consolidation maybe before a breakout. I mean, that's what happened when we were bouncing between like 21 and 24, and then it dipped down under 21. Like it looked like it failed, and then it touched 20 and gave us a nice reversal candle similar to the one that we just got a few days ago, and then we ripped. So, will it happen again? Maybe. Not going to complain if it does. But yeah, I mean, the key is essentially staying above like that 26.7, because if not, then most likely we test 25 again.
Yeah, I was selling you
IDK,
pre-show.
May. He just said when May market crash. I mean, May usually is not a good month, but it isn't terrible so far. But yeah, in theory, we are down in May. We started May up at what, 29? So that works, because then May will end and we'll moon. And I've been saying to my buddies Mike and Walter, we keep saying summer of money. So that makes sense. It's the summer of money.
Is it the summer of money? Is that what you think is going to happen?
Going to be the summer of money for me, one way or another. So something's going to work out, whether it's crypto or real estate or one of the other investments I'm in. Summer of money.
I like it. I like the positive attitude. It's how you win.
Exactly. All the monies are coming back to be redeployed into even bigger and better things.
Yep.
Yes. Eric needs liquids for the summer. Everything is staked like a bozo. Yeah, that's my problem too. Never keep any fresh powder.
You always got to keep some. You always got to keep some.
You got to keep some. But yeah, kick-ass show.
Sweet.
And,
yeah.
A lot of awesome updates, and the UI
172
is
replies under the Threadcast.
There you go. Threadcast's blowing up each week, and monthly active users is blowing up, and all the good things.
All of the good things.
Yes, agreed.
Good
Bitcoin flood. That is a problem. If it's not staked, it's not working. So I struggle to keep the money liquid, because I am a yield junkie. It's all about that passive income that somehow is never really all that passive.
Yeah, it always takes more work than you think.
Right? So awesome. Good show, guys.
Sweet.
And good job on LPUD and all the things. Keep up the good work, Eric.
Yeah, Eric's firing away. He's doing it.
Fire. He's straight
Sweet.
Beavis style.
Thanks, everybody.
Thunder.
Oh, do you want to say the keyword one more time before we jump off?
Yes, we can. The keyword is trade station. As one word, I will type it in the chat, trade station. So Crypto Geek caught it just in time. Otherwise, been listening to the replay on YouTube and hour into it, like, where the hell's the keyword? Son of a bitch. No, I think we said it like maybe 40 minutes in.
Yeah, it wasn't too late.
I try and like get it in after you do all the recaps. So it's like, all right, everyone gets the recaps, and then
It's like
you're
a
not
cookie.
leaving them hanging forever.
Yeah.
So, but yes,
Smart.
trade station is the keyword, one word. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of the week. May
Sweet.
your threads be entertaining and your upvotes be plentiful.
Happy birthday, Mitch. Upvote the cat. We will see you
Much
guys for a
appreciated.
special edition next Tuesday, and then the cat will be back the following Tuesday.
Rock and roll.
Sweet. See you later.
LeoFinance out.